Ah!
Delete.
You're evil.
Damn, 675 LT. What's up guys? Pretty sick cars and coffee just now, heading to some breakfast and then a canyon drive. What's up guys? Bit of a change of plans. Ended up not going on the canyon drive, but instead met up with Graham Stefan for some coffee. And now we're gonna take the Lotus Exige for a test drive.
So low-key, I'm gonna try to sell you on this car. I gotta sell this thing to buy the Lambo. And I think this is a good upgrade because right now you got the Porsche. It's cool, but it's not an Exige. So make sure you guys comment down below. Tell them to buy my car, please.
This entire meeting turned into just like total like sales call. Way to go, Graham. But
that's it. Yeah, here's the key.
Oh shit. Let's go. Right, it's definitely, this is a little weird.
Yeah, so the headliner is sagging. This is a problem in the Lotus.
Just like brushing my like head the whole time.
Yeah, no, this is one of the most common problems with Lotus is that the headliner is just, it's on with like some really crappy glue. And so after about a year in the sun, this thing just like, it just comes down. So you got, I had to fix it.
It feels.
Or you just take the top off.
So do I need to immobilize?
Yeah, you do.
I start? So
yeah,
how do
so
I do
you turn this like this,
and then
okay? And then I think it's so weird because I'm not the passenger. I think it's there. You go. So now it'll start, and then you press these, press the button.
Sick. Yeah, this is like very. I mean, this is gonna be a way more sick version of it, but OG subscribers will remember. About 6 months ago in Maui, I rented a Lotus Elise. So Graham's is like a way more sick version of sort of the same thing, but way better. So yeah, this should be
Exige S240.
So this should be a lot of fun.
Down, okay. Yeah, just drive it around the parking lot. Otherwise, I get too scared.
Well, you have like no.
Yeah, you can't see out the back.
There's zero visibility in this.
Yep, you just see the supercharger. Oh my god! I think this is the first time I've ever been a passenger in my own car with somebody driving it.
Wow. So that's a lot of trust, I guess.
Yeah.
This is your baby, huh?
Well, it's a test drive.
Whoa, the brakes are pushing.
The brakes, yeah. Barely touch the brakes.
Yeah. Dude, it's just like a little go-kart.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Okay.
All right, now Graham's gonna test out the Porsche, see how it compares.
It's gonna be so different.
I'm trying to sell it to him, so.
Oh my, this feels huge.
From the Lotus? Shit. Yes. It's funny though, because like from any other car, like,
move the seat up?
It's just a manual on the sort of the right side.
These are really comfortable seats.
Yeah. Almost too comfy, right? I want those buckets.
Oh, it's so weird it's on this side.
Yep.
All right, hold on.
Classic Porsche.
How do I?
That's down, so just clutch in and turn it to the right.
Do you want me to floor it all the way?
Yeah, you have to like really like push the clutch pretty far. There you go.
All right, there we go. All right, don't be pissed if I stall this.
I won't.
Really?
Don't like roll back into a wall or something.
No.
It's pretty easy to drive actually. Well, it's really easy to drive. Especially if you're used to like, if you're used to the Lotus, like.
Okay.
The Lotus, once you get used to it, it's not that hard to drive, but there's definitely like more of an adjustment
curve. This just feels a little bit loose on the clutch. Like the Lotus is very just like tight all the way.
It's a go-kart. I mean, it's funny though, because like you think all that in this car, but like from any other car, it's like the same jump, you know? It's like you go from a normal car to this and you think it feels like that. And then you go to a Lotus and it's just like, oh shit. No, it doesn't.
See, I like this why am I this shifter? Yeah. Can I go down here?
Yeah, I mean, you can drive it wherever you want. I don't mind if you want to take it out, unless you got to run.
Okay. I don't want to fuck anything up.
No, I'm not.
Like, I would. Well, still, if something were to happen, I would.
It'd be on YouTube, so the amount of
views.
ad revenue we would get out of you crashing this, like, I think you should crash it actually.
Shifter is just like a nice shifter with the Lotus.
So
I feel like it's kind of heavy.
Yeah. Porsche has like just the butteriest shifting.
Yeah, and it feels like a short, like mine. I feel like it's like crank it back.
Yeah.
This is nice.
It just fits perfectly into place.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, just in second, like, it has like very little like power at the low revs, you know? Like with Porsche, it's like really about like.
Hold on. Oh, I like the exhaust.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. The best. In my last vlog, I talked about what to do if your sales are going down, if things have taken a turn for the worst, what you could do to not only avoid that, but also get the ball rolling again. So first off, if you haven't seen that one, you might want to go back and check that. The reason I mention it is because what I want to talk about right now is kind of related in a way, and it is that in that video, I mentioned one of the good things about this business is that it's pretty hard to outright lose your money. Worst case scenario is usually that you end up getting stuck with inventory that takes longer to sell out to get your money back, or just things didn't go as well as you want, or you just have a minor win that might do really well during Christmas, but maybe doesn't really make any money, just runs at break even the rest of the year. That's like a typical failure, which is a good thing is that it's not really that bad in a lot of cases. What I want to talk about now though is the way that you could lose your shit. So you definitely want to pay attention to this because to me, I see this as basically the biggest risk because if you don't do this right, you actually could lose all of your money. And this is the only way that I can think of that you can lose all of your money. Like I said, the other way, you can liquidate your inventory, just takes you longer, isn't as profitable as you thought. But if you do this wrong, you could lose your initial investment. So what I'm referring to here is the importance of getting an inspection done. An inspection is going to be when you hire a team on the ground in the location of your supplier, so say in China, and they are professionals who do quality assurance. So they will go in on the ground into your supplier before your shipment is sent and inspect everything and send you a super detailed report. So then you can determine, is the shipment actually up to my standards before you pay for the balance payment. Typically you'll pay a deposit to get your order started, and then you'll pay a balance payment when the order is actually finished and approved to release it for shipment. So you might put 30% down and then 70% when it's ready to ship. Now, what you can do and what I recommend doing is getting your pre-shipment inspection done before that balance payment is sent. So now really your only risk is the deposit, which is most likely around 30% or so. And you can also use payment services like trade assurance through Alibaba to make sure that if something went wrong, you could open a dispute and potentially get your payment reversed. So if you don't do that and you don't do this, which is an inspection service with a safe payment method, then if you end up with inventory that you can't sell, or it's just complete crap, or it's just useless and it's worthless, and you've paid for it and you can't reverse your payment, and you didn't have an inspection done, so you paid for it and now you have it, that is ultimately the worst situation you could be in. That is the only one where it is a substantial risk, I feel. The other ones, at least there are ways to get your money back, or maybe you're not gonna make all your money back. Of course, there's always the potential for loss, but this is the only way you could really lose. The other way is, you might be able to sell off your inventory that you bought for $3,000 for $2,500 or for $2,000 over time. It might take you a while, might be inconvenient. But this way, if you do this wrong, if you can't get your payment reversed, or you just pay for it all and then you receive it and you pay it in such a way that you can't do anything because you already approved the shipment, then that could be a serious problem. So moral of the story is pay in a safe platform where you could potentially open a dispute, such as PayPal or Trade Assurance, which is through the Alibaba platform. And either way, I would highly recommend that you get an inspection done. Pre-shipment inspection is what you want. And that will have somebody go into the factory, send you a super detailed report before you finalize and approve everything. So you could check any problems before you potentially get stuck with that inventory in your garage for the next 5 years because nobody wants it and it's completely worthless. So do a pre-shipment inspection. The one that I've personally used is called Asia Inspection. There is a link in the description. it's not the cheapest one, but the reason that I've never switched, it was the first one I used, and I just never switched to some of these ones that I've heard are cheaper because their reports are just so good. So it's around like $300, but keep in mind, that could potentially save you your entire investment of your entire inventory of your first product, or any product, not just your first, of course. You could do this every time, probably should do it every time. It's the only way to really be truly safe. That few $100 can save you a lot. You can go ahead and look for the cheaper ones, but that one, the reason that I never bothered switching myself is because the reports that they send are just so completely detailed. You can have them measure it, weigh it, test it for any particular issue to your product. Like, is it waterproof, or does it rip if you do this thing to the thing? Like, whatever is relevant to your product, they can test for these things, and they can make sure that your barcodes are on it, and they can make sure that the boxes are right, and that everything is done to Amazon's requirements. So it can really save you a ton of money, because to me, I see that as the biggest risk, because if you do that wrong, then you could get stuck, and that is the way to really get stuck in this business. The other ways are typically a failure is not that bad, which to me, I see that as a massive pro to this business, that the failures are not like literally just awful. So definitely consider inspection services. You want to protect yourself. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. So I hope that helps you avoid losing some money. Ready for dinner?
Yeah. Checking for gray hair. Can't be seen with gray hairs. Huh?
I said cookies are ready.
I'll leave it on and plugged in just for you.
People that have women in their house, do they leave the straightener plugged in 24/7, or is it just this one?
I mean, you may need it in emergencies, you know.
If our place ever burns down,
Matt acts like I spend more time on my hair than he does, but that is...
My hair is the reason this YouTube channel is successful.
Say fried noodles?
I'll go sure. I have no idea.
Could be a decoration.
You boil the bird's nest and you got bird's nest soup. Specifically the nest of the swiftlet. It's made from their solidified
Oh my god. We both got it wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, is this a savage?
How is it?
Healthy and delicious.
All right guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up there. I hope it was a really good video. There's a Facebook group in the description. Make sure you're in there. It's been going absolutely great lately. 3,200 members, that's all free, of course. Best place to get your questions answered. So I hope to see you in there, and I'll see you in the next video.